Welcome, everyone. Today we have Georgia Southern safety Anthony Wilson on. Anthony, starting off, take me back to your recruitment process. What ultimately led your decision to play for Georgia Southern? And with that, what was most interesting and most challenging about that process?
Um, ultimately, of course, it's a tough decision, trying to decide which school is right for you. But, you know, Georgia Southern, what the reason why I chose Georgia Southern is because, the unconditional love that they showed me throughout the
Mhm.
recruiting process. And, just like the coaches and the culture at Georgia Southern. And I'll say the most difficult thing about the recruiting process was, making sure that I made the right decision because, in high school, we're young and,
Mhm.
we got a lot going on in our heads. We don't know if we're making the right decision or not. But um, I guess that was the most challenging aspect as far as the recruiting process, just make sure, I make the right decision that will set me up for the rest of my life.
Mhm. And looking at your time at Georgia Southern so far, you redshirted the 1920 season. In the 2021 season, you're an honorable mention to the All Sun Belt Conference. You had the first career start in that season, but this past season, you were a third team All Star, All Sun Belt selection, as well as making the honor roll in the fall. With all that being said, what do all these mentions and numbers mean to you in terms of how much or little you let these define who you are as an athlete?
Um, as far as that goes, as far as the accolades and stuff, it's cool. It's great always to have, accolades that come with, football. But at the end of the day, I don't let it define me because, it's always more work to be done. I never get complacent, never get, too high, never get too low. So I'm always gonna be hungry. I'm always gonna stay hungry and be that dog that I always been since the age of 5. And so, it's cool having the accolades and the different things that come with your name. But at the end of the day, how I see it is, I'm just playing football and just doing what I love. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And in addition to this, what would you say you've learned the most about playing at that collegiate level so far? What has been most interesting transitioning from the high school level, but also most challenging?
Um, I'd probably say the number one thing that I've learned is that the things that you do outside of football, you know, it plays just as much as a part as the other things that come with football.
Mm-hmm.
Nutrition, watching film, uh, you know, technique, and I feel like the biggest difference between high school ball and college ball is of course, the film, watching film, and like taking notes, and also the technique. You know, being in college ever since I um, came here to Georgia Southern, I've learned so many things that have helped me on the field technique wise, and I feel like that's one of the major differences and one of the most challenging things that I've learned ever since I got here to college.
Mm-hmm. And taking back to your high school days, you're selected for the Shrine Bowl, cited best two-way player in the Midlands by the state newspaper, named 2018 Mr. Richmond County Football Player of the Year, and on top of that, you helped your team win a state championship as a freshman. Through all your success in high school, what would you say was the favorite part about that all, and something you'll never forget?
Uh, I definitely say the bonds that I created. Those guys that I played with in high school, I still talk to them. Some of those guys are my best friends,
Mm-hmm.
and I definitely miss the bonds that we created. But we still, stay in touch. But it's always good. It's not like playing a Friday night football. Like it's just nothing. It's nothing like that. So that's just the camaraderie and the bonding, and um, just playing together. Um, that's what I miss the most.
Mm-hmm. And you're saying earlier about recruitment and making that right decision. When talking about recruitment nowadays, with all the NIL deals, social media, and how much that plays into it, what advice do you have to athletes just being able to do what you do and make that right decision and not rush into anything and not get distracted?
As far as NIL goes, I say the biggest thing is to make sure you're doing what you have to do on the field and off the field, and everything else will come with it. You gotta, NIL deals. I know a lot of guys they get caught up in the NIL deals and what this guy has and what this guy has, what deals
Mhm.
they have and whatnot. But at the end of the day, if you do what you have to do on and off the field, then the rest will take care of itself. So that's my biggest, point that I can say is just make sure you doing everything you have to do, on the field, in the classroom, and everything else will come. Those NIL deals will come. They'll reach out to you. So,
Mm-hmm. And looking into your major in life off the field for you, I see that you're an interdisciplinary studies major. Quickly take us through what that means for those unaware, but also what got you interested in that major in the first place.
honestly, I say, well, for one, interdisciplinary studies is like it's kind of like a major for people that are not 100% sure what they specifically want to do. So I chose that major because my interest as far as after football is coaching as well as business.
Mm-hmm.
So um, with that interdisciplinary studies major, I can do both, have a coaching degree and a business degree. So right now, currently, I'm working on the business degree and the coaching degree at the same time. So it's just something for people that don't necessarily know for sure what they want to do. So that's why I chose interdisciplinary studies.
Mm-hmm. And let's say someone were to ask you about Georgia Southern. Let's say they were wondering what the atmosphere and the environment was like. For you personally, what do you feel has had the biggest impact on you, not only as an athlete, but also as an individual as a whole? And how would you say Georgia Southern is different from many other programs?
Um, start Georgia Southern, the atmosphere on game day is electric. Fans, we got the best fans in the country, and they really get behind us and they get rowdy for us. And I remember this past year. I think we played BYU, and I couldn't even hear myself on the field. Like it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I guess what Georgia Southern is like, the culture, like a lot of different, schools, they talk about team and brotherhood and all that, but Georgia Southern, we really are a brotherhood. We look out for each other, we care about each other. We're always there for each other. The highs and lows. We talk. We talk to each other whenever somebody's going through something. And we all can always count on each other to have each other's back. So that's what makes Georgia Southern special.
Mm-hmm. And regarding any individual, they always seem to have someone special or a group of people that means a lot to what they've become in life. Who is that person or group of people for you? And if they were to be listening, what would you have to say?
Um, I definitely say, excuse me. I definitely say, of course, my parents. Without them, I don't know what I would. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll say my parents, but with of course without them, I wouldn't be even playing football. So because they had me in football since the age of 5, and my grandmother, she's always my grandmother and grandpa, they always been there for me and pushed me, and my aunts and uncles, they've always been my biggest fans, and them, I don't know, you know what I would do, and I owe them a world, and as well as my cousins, my friends, just everybody that supported me since I started playing football. I just want to thank them, and I owe them the world.
Mm-hmm. And with your time left at Georgia Southern, what is your biggest goal in the grand scheme of things? But also, how do you want to be remembered when your college career is all said and done, whether that be as an athlete on the field, off the field, or both?
Um, Before I graduate from Georgia Southern, I definitely want to. we definitely want to win a conference championship,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something that we're working towards this year, day to day. And before my college career is over, I just want to be remembered as uh, the type of guy that that is willing to help whoever, whenever, no matter you know what the situation may be.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to, and I also want to be remembered as just one of the greatest to ever wear the uniform, and I just want to be remembered as a guy that has always left the blood, sweat, and tears out on the field, not just on game days, but practice as well. So that's my biggest thing.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, I know you were talking about this earlier, but after your collegiate career comes to an end, do you have any idea as to what you might want to pursue after college, whether that be football related or not?
Yeah. You know, my plans, definitely I would like to play in the NFL. And after, I guess, after I get done with football, um, I would like to become a coach, or, you know, that way I can pour into, the guys, the younger guys that, are trying to, maybe reach the next level. I could just give them knowledge that I have and that I've learned throughout my years of playing ball. And so that's definitely something that I'm interested in doing, and I plan on doing, Lord willing.
Mm-hmm. Once again, Anthony Wilson, Georgia Southern safety. Anthony, really appreciate you taking the time today and wish you nothing but the best with your future.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course.